Okay, so then let's start with the next part. Okay, in the previous part, we had just completed the introduction thing. Yes, the basic things about money laundering, etc. Now, in this next part, we are going to take up all the definitions. Okay, what all are the important definitions from our exam point of view, from our syllabus point of view? We are going to take up all those definitions. Yes, now, as you must be already knowing that in a particular act, okay, in a particular act, section 1 talks about the extent and applicability. Okay, so similarly, this Money Laundering Act, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, this particular law is applicable to whole of India, including the state of Jammu Kashmir. Okay, so it is going to be applicable to everyone. Next, section 2 of any particular act that talks about the definitions. Okay, section 2 talks about what? Section 2 talks about the definitions. Similarly, in this particular act also, section 2 is going to talk about the definitions. As you can see here, I hope you can see here, the first one, that is money laundering definition, is given. The reference of section number 2 is given. Okay, here the subsection and the clause, etc. is not to be remembered. Similarly, when you go to the next page, you will see some other definition coming again in section number 2 itself. So, just like every other law, even in PMLA, all the definitions are covered in section number 2 except for one difference. Okay, except for one exception, we can say. I'll tell you what is that. Okay, now for this particular chapter, the most important term, okay, the most important term is money laundering. Okay, the most important term is money laundering. Now, the definition of money laundering was given in section 2 itself. But then section 2 diverts us to section number 3. Means when you go and refer this 2(1)p, then in that case it's written that the above term has been assigned meaning in section number 3. So this is the only definition which is very, very important, plus which has been actually given in section number 3. Okay, and as you can see here, the reference of question numbers have been given. Okay, the reference of question numbers have been given so that of the definition, the questions which have been asked on definition, so that you will come to know that, how the questions are tested. Now, let's do the definition. So, money laundering was defined in section number 2, but then they diverted us to section number 3. And now, let's understand what do you mean by the term offense of money laundering, or who will be treated as guilty. Okay, who will be treated as guilty of the offense of money laundering? Let's try to understand. Okay, I'll break the definitions and we'll try to simplify it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now, any person whosoever is directly or indirectly who attempts to indulge means involve. Okay, means any person involved. Okay, any person who is directly involved, or who is indirectly involved, or who tries to get involved. Okay, who is directly trying or indirectly trying to be involved in this offense of money laundering. I'll give you examples, don't worry. Any person who knowingly assists, that is, he is helping you. Okay, who is knowingly is a party. Who is knowingly is a party means who is one of the party, and he knows about it, that he is involved. He is maybe along with some other person, he is properly involved in this offense of money laundering. Now, there's a minute difference between second one and the third one. In the second one, he was helping. Okay, he was not a party, but in the third one, he is actually a party. Okay, he's a party means there are more than one person who is involved in the offense of money laundering, and he is one of it. Okay, and the last one, who is actually involved, means he is the main person who is doing the offense of money laundering. Now, what's the difference between third one and the fourth one? In the third one, he was one of many persons, and in the last one, he is the main person who is involved in the offense of money laundering, and here he is trying to get involved. Okay, who is attempting to do. Any person who tried to kidnap me, any person who tried to do my murder, that person also is guilty. Very clear with this? Okay, and the second one, that is assisting. Example, if say for example, Mr. Mohit, okay, there is some Mr. Mohit wanted to kidnap me. Okay, but he did not know that where am I going to be on say 1st of December. So he asked my sister that where is Arpita going to be there on 1st of December so that we can kidnap her. My sister helped her, for example. Okay, my sister helped her. So in that case, my sister is knowingly assisting someone. So even my sister would be guilty of the offense of money laundering. The person who is kidnapping me plus the person who is helping helping that particular person, that is my sister who is helping that particular person to kidnap me, even that person will be guilty of the offense of money laundering. So basically any person who is directly involved or any person who is indirectly involved will be guilty of the offense of money laundering. Right? Okay. So now see what are they writing here. Whosoever directly or indirectly tries to get involved, who assists, who is a party or who is actually involved in any process or activity connected with, see the wordings now, connected with proceeds of crime. Connected with proceeds of crime. Proceeds of crime definition also we have got it separately. Connected with proceeds of crime, including its concealment, means trying to hide it, who is having some particular asset, who has acquired some particular asset, or who is using that particular asset and trying to show as if it is an untainted property, means trying to show as if it is a clean property. The previous example that I had given you, that is of, you remember that 5 lakh rupees, putting it in jewelry or putting it in property or depositing it into bank account and then showing as if I have earned this amount out of legal activity. Okay, so say for example, by kidnapping someone, I got 10 lakh rupees. Okay, 5 lakh rupees, I have kept it in form of cash. Okay, 1 lakh rupees, I purchased jewelry out of it. Okay, then balance, say for example, 2 lakhs, I gave it as gift to my relatives. And for balance 2 lakhs, say for example, I purchased a small piece of land in some area. Also, I purchased some property out of it. Okay, so now say for example, if I am possessing this cash, if I am possessing or using this jewelry, okay, if I have given this amount as gift, if I have acquired property and I am using it, then in that case, forget about that 10 lakh basic amount, but even the diversion of this amount, if you are involved in this also, okay, then this entire 10 lakh will be treated, okay, this entire 10 lakh will be treated as proceeds of crime. In a very simple language, I'll tell you, proceeds of crime is nothing but any amount which is earned out of criminal activity. Someone kidnapped me and got 10 lakh means he has done a crime and he has got 10 lakh. So this 10 lakh will be called as proceeds of crime. And if I'm trying to hide this amount, if I'm trying to use it, or if I'm trying to purchase any property out of it, property includes property, jewelry, etc., whatever, and in that case, I am guilty of the offense of money laundering. Okay, plus what am I trying to do is I'm trying to show as if this amount is legal amount, whereas actually we know that this amount is not a legal amount at all. I hope I'm very, very clear with this. Yes. So again, let me tell you, any person who is trying to get indulged, any person who is assisting, any person who is a party, or any person who is involved. Okay, say for example, there is such a person. That person is involved in which activity? Which is connected, the thing which I have marked here in yellow. Any person is involved in such an activity which is connected with what? Connected with proceeds of crime. Okay, that person has done some activity which is connected with proceeds of crime, including its concealment, its possession, its acquisition, its use, and trying to project, trying to show as if this is a clean property, as if we have earned this amount from legal sources, whereas it is not show. We are just trying to project it that way. Okay, we are just trying to show it that way. So then in that case, I will be guilty of the offense of money. Very clear with this. So say for example, if I have done, say for example, not I, but Mr. X has kidnapped. Okay, Mr. X has kidnapped Arpita. Mr. X will be guilty. Okay, say for example, Mr. X and Mrs. X have jointly kidnapped Arpita. Both of them are party. So both of them will be guilty of the offense of money laundering. Okay, Mr. X did the kidnapping, but Mrs. X helped Mr. X for doing my kidnapping. Okay, then in that case, both of them will be guilty of the offense of money laundering. I hope you are clear with this. Yes, while Mr. X was kidnapping, okay, while Mr. X was kidnapping me, at that time, Mrs. X also tried to do something by which Arpita can be kidnapped. So she tried to involve herself into the offense. So even she will be guilty of the offense of money. I hope I am very, very clear with this. Yes, just remember the word here called as proceeds of crime. They are doing something for which they are getting a consideration. That consideration will be called as proceeds of crime. I hope I am very, very clear with this. Yes. Acha. Now listen, there was an explanation which was inserted to the section. The section was only this much. Then there was some explanation which was inserted. Explanation has two parts in it, point A and point B. Point A is the same thing which we just studied. Okay, a person shall be guilty of the offense if such person is directly or indirectly getting indulged, knowingly assisting, knowingly is the party, or is actually involved in any activity which is related to proceeds of crime, including its concealment, etc. This is the same thing, copy-paste thing which we have studied about. This is okay. This is okay. Okay. One more thing which got included or inserted in the explanation was, this is an important thing. Just try to understand. The process or activity connected with proceeds of crime is a continuing activity. This is super duper important. Is a continuing activity and continues till such time a person is directly or indirectly enjoying the proceeds of crime whatsoever, in any manner whatsoever. Means what? Means what? Say for example, Mr. X, continuous activity, that term is important. Okay? Mr. X kidnapped Arpita. Okay, Mr. X kidnapped Arpita, and after that, Mr. X got 10 lakh rupees from someone. Out of this 10 lakhs, he purchased a property. Out of full 10 lakh rupees, he purchased the property. Can I say this property, this cash got converted into property? Yes. So can I say this property is now the proceeds of crime? Okay. Achha, before that, can I say cash was the proceeds of crime? When he got cash, cash was the proceeds of crime. He converted this cash into property. So can I say even this property will become the proceeds of crime? Then what happened was, he sold this property. He sold this property and he purchased jewelry out of it. So can I say now even this jewelry will be treated as proceeds of crime? So till the time he enjoys this 10 lakhs, till that time he cannot say that I had cash, I converted my cash, so now I am not guilty of the offense of money laundering. No, it's not that way. Till the time cash gets converted into profit, till the time he enjoys this 10 lakh in whatever form it may be, till that time he will be guilty of the offense of money laundering. Okay, maybe after jewelry, he sold jewelry, he purchased shares out of it or whatever. Till the time he is enjoying this 10 lakh rupees, he will be guilty of the offense of money laundering. So as soon as the nature of this 10 lakh changes, means cash to property to jewelry to shares, does not mean that he is now free from the offense of money laundering. No. Till the time he enjoys this 10 lakhs, he will be guilty of the offense of money laundering. I hope I am very, 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 very clear with this, everyone. Yes. So this is the meaning. See, this A point is the same one. Okay, this A point is the same one, that person will be guilty. Okay, and this process will continue. That person will be guilty of the offense of money laundering till the time he enjoys. Okay, till the time that person is directly or enjoying the proceeds of crime. Very clear with this? So if you want to write down, you can just, maybe pause the video. You can just write down this example, that till what time, even till the time he is holding shares, till that time also he will be still guilty of the offense of money. Very clear with this? Yes. So this was the meaning of the term called as offense of money laundering. Right? Okay. Now going on to the next definition. The next definition talks about proceeds of crime. Now coming back to section number 2 itself. Okay. Now one thing that you have to remember here is, all the definitions are by default covered in section number 2, except for one definition which has been diverted to section number 3. Which one is that definition? Offense of money laundering. Okay. Now listen, just try to understand. any property, okay, any property derived or obtained by any person, any property. Property does not only mean a house property, okay, any asset derived or obtained. See, proceeds of crime term, we got it from the offense of money laundering, connected with any activity of proceeds of crime. Remember the term that we had here, I'll just show it to you, everyone here. That person is involved in any activity which is connected with proceeds of crime. Okay, and in our language, I told you proceeds of crime means any proceeds, okay, any proceeds that we have got from criminal activity. Okay, any proceeds that we have got from where? Any proceeds that we have got from criminal activity. So now any property which we have derived or obtained, which has been derived by any person directly or indirectly as a result of criminal activity, any amount that we have got by doing any criminal activity. Ma'am, what do you mean by criminal activity? So which is relating to scheduled offense, which is going to be one more definition. Okay, now as per me, murder, kidnapping, bribes, stock market scams, etc. These all are crimes. So we have got a list of all the crimes which is given in this scheduled offense. Or the value of property, or where such property is taken or held outside the country. You earned it here, you took it outside the country, doesn't matter. It will still be treated as what? It will still be treated as proceeds of crime only. Okay, then the property in equivalent value held within the country or abroad. Means whether you are keeping that amount here or whether you are taking it outside the country, doesn't matter. The entire thing will be treated as proceeds of crime. Okay, so now how do we correlate it? Just try to understand. Okay, first of all, some person, okay, there will be some particular person who will be guilty of the offense of money laundering if he is connected with any activity relating to proceeds of crime. Okay, he will be guilty. He will be guilty if he is doing any such thing which is related to proceeds of crime. Example, kidnapping. By doing kidnapping, he got some amount, okay, and that amount will be treated as proceeds of crime. Then, what do you mean by the term proceeds of crime? Proceeds of crime means any amount that that particular person is holding, any property. Property can be cash, it can be jewelry, it can be anything, movable, immovable, etc. It can be anything. Property that that person has got by doing some criminal activity, that is kidnapping. Okay, property that he has got by doing some criminal activity. And this criminal activity is stated where? The name of that particular crime is stated in the scheduled offense. And this property can be kept anywhere. It can be kept either within India or it can be kept abroad. Then that will be treated as what? That will be treated as proceeds of crime. Okay, all these together constitutes the term called as proceeds of crime. I hope I am very, very clear till here. Yes. Now let's do the connecting definitions. Okay, let's do the connected. This is about the proceeds of crime. From proceeds of crime, we got the term called as property. We got the term called as scheduled offense. So now let's try to do their definition. Okay. Now, when I go to the first, I'll go to the term called as property. Okay, property means I told you everything will come up there. Means any property or asset of every description, any type. Whether corporeal means material, means important. Okay, means small amount, big amount, whatever. Or incorporeal, whether big amount or small amount. Whether movable or immovable. Whether tangible or intangible. And includes deeds and instruments, the contracts, etc. Even those have value, which shows the title or interest in any property. Example, my purchase agreement. Can I say that is the title agreement of a particular house? Even that is included in the term called as property, and wherever it can be located, either in India or abroad. Okay, that is mentioned in the property definition also, and that is mentioned in the proceeds of crime definition also, whether held within the country or abroad. I hope I am very, very clear with this. So this term property means asset of any type, whether corporeal, incorporeal, tangible, intangible, movable, immovable, whatever it may be, wherever it is located. If you are holding that which you have derived by doing some criminal activity, where is that criminal activity written? That is written in the scheduled offense. Then you are guilty of the offense of money laundering, and now it's go Goa gone. Means that person will be guilty of the offense of money laundering. Yes? Okay. So now we understood the term called as property. Okay, we understood the term called as property. We understood the term called as proceeds of crime. The place where all the crimes are mentioned, that place is called as scheduled offense. Let's try to understand that. Okay, scheduled offense means list of offenses. Means if you do these offenses and if you earn some money out of it, means you're guilty of the offense of money. Okay, now see what are they writing? Offenses specified under Part A of schedule. See, now you must have heard about Schedule 3 of Companies Act, where the format of your P&L and the balance sheet is given. Similarly, even PMLA, this particular act has got schedule attached to it. In that particular schedule, you have got Part A, Part B and Part C, where all the name of the offenses have been given properly. So now, all the offenses which are given in Part A of the schedule, if you do that, means you have done a crime. All the offenses written under Part C of the schedule, if you do any such offenses, means you have done a crime relating to money laundering. If you have done any offenses which are given in Part B of the schedule, and only if the amount involved in that particular offense is more than or equal to 1 crore or more than or equal to 1 crore, which this limit is applicable only for Part B offenses. Okay, then in that case, you will be guilty, or it will be treated as if you have done some scheduled offense, and you will be guilty of the offense of money. Okay, so scheduled offenses, I'll just write it here. Scheduled offenses is what? Scheduled offenses is nothing but offenses which are mentioned in Part A, Part B, Part C, all offenses of Part A, all offenses of Part C, and all offenses of Part B, but only if the amount involved in the offense is more than or equal to 1 crore. If you have done any such offenses, then it means you have done a scheduled offense. If you have done a scheduled offense, then you would have earned some amount from that. That amount will be called as proceeds of crime. And if you are enjoying the proceeds of crime, means you are guilty of the offense of money laundering. I hope I am very, very clear till here. Yes. So what is scheduled offense? Scheduled offense is nothing but a place where all the name of the crimes have been given. Okay. Now see what I have written here is, please refer annexure given at the end of the book for knowledge purpose, not for exam purpose. Okay. I'll just show it to you. I'll just show the glance to you. Everyone here with me on the board. This is given in your book at the end. See here, everyone. I'll just zoom one page and show it to you. Yes, see. I hope you can see comparatively now. Okay, it's written here. PMLA scheduled offense, but just for reference. Okay, just for reference. Please don't sit and by heart this. Okay, we have got many things to do in life. Everyone here. So see here, Part A is given. Can you see here? Part A. In that, now different paragraphs will start. Okay, now first paragraph is offenses under Indian Penal Code. So if you have done any such offenses, you will be guilty under Indian Penal Code. That is okay. Plus you will even be guilty under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Okay. Then similarly, once this page is done, after that you can go to the right hand side. Again the offenses are listed. Then paragraph 2 is coming. In paragraph 2, all the offenses under narcotic, drugs and psychotropic substances relating to drugs. So if any person has done such offenses, he will be guilty under this act. Plus that person will even be guilty under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Okay, that's given here. See here, all opium, cultivator, cannabis, etc. All these are relating to drugs. So if this is done, means you have done a scheduled offense. Very clear with this? Okay. Then similarly, everyone here, similarly paragraph 3, paragraph 4 and etc. is given. I'll just show you part B. Everyone here. Yes, see here. So till here, major offenses were there under Part A only, as I had shown you on the board. Major offenses were there under Part A. Now let's go to Part B. Part B is very, very small, only one offense. Only offense of section number 132 under the Customs Act. Not all the offenses under Customs Act are only section 132 of the Customs Act, but only if the amount involved in this particular offense is more than or equal to rupees 1 crore, then you will be. See, this amount, is it applicable for Customs Act or is it applicable for PMLA? This limit is applicable for PMLA. Example, if any person has done some offense under section 132 of Customs Act 1962. Okay, and say for example, if the amount is 10 lakh rupees only, will that person be liable under section 132 of the Customs Act? Answer is yes. Will that person be liable under PMLA? Answer is no, because he has done the offense less than the PMLA limit. Okay, now say for example, if that person has done the offense of 110 lakhs, that is 1.1 crore rupees, then in that case, he will be liable under Customs Act also, plus he will be liable under PMLA also. Okay, so just remember this, section number 132 of the Customs Act, right? And then the part C. Part C is some offenses which relates to cross-border implications, means where even the other country is involved, plus some offenses of IPC, plus some black money relating transactions. Those are covered in Part C. Part C has no limit. Part A has no limit. Only Part B has got a limit of more than or equal to rupees 1 crore. I hope I am very, very clear till here. Everyone here? So you don't need to by heart all this, okay? That's why I've written here. I've written already in the content place that this is just given for your knowledge purpose. Okay, I've written here. This is just given for your knowledge purpose. Very clear with this? When you try the questions, you will come to know that how are we supposed to identify that whether it comes in part A, part B, part C, etc. See, part B has got only one, that is section number 132 of the Customs Act. Part C, we saw it has cross-border implication and black money. Rest, everything by default is going to come in part A. Okay, that's the trick. So, scheduled offense is done, property is done, proceeds of crime is done, and offense of money laundering is done. Okay, your major definitions are done. Now let's complete the other definitions. Hardly 4 to 5 other definitions, small definitions are left. Let's try to do that. Okay, now here section number 2. Okay, section number 2, which talks about the payment system. This is a very general thing. Okay, this is a very general thing. Payment system is nothing but any such method by which money is transferred between two persons. Okay, now say for example, if you have taken law lectures, you have paid me the fees, so you are the payer, and I have received the fees, so I am the beneficiary. Okay, here in this particular chapter, beneficiary is nothing but the recipient. So the system by which the money gets transferred from the payer to the beneficiary, that is called as payment system. Okay, it can be bank, that is, it can be online payments, it can be debit card, it can be by way of using credit card or whatever it is. All those will be included in the term called as payment system. Payment system is nothing but the system because of which the money gets transferred from one person to another person, or the transaction gets settled between two or more persons. Between whom? Between the payer and the beneficiary. That is nothing but your payment system. Debit card, credit card, smart card, or whatever, NEFT, RTGS, IMPS, UPI, whatever you call, everything will be included in the term called as payment system. Very clear with this? Yes? Okay. Now, going on to the other definitions. Okay, going on to the other definitions, which we are going to use further in the chapter. These are not your concepts actually, but these terms we are going to use further in the chapter. Just try to understand this. Okay, now there is a term called as financial institution, and there will be a term called as reporting entity. Just try to understand. Reporting entity is a broader term. Okay, reporting entity is a broader term. Okay, it is a wide term, we can call it as. And one of the part of reporting entity is financial institutions. Okay, now just to give you a very simple example, if I use the word financial institutions, or if I use the word banks and financial institutions, generally forget about PMLA, forget about this particular chapter. If I just use the word banks and financial institutions, what do you mean by that? Means it includes your banks, it includes your finance companies, it includes your NBFCs and so on. Okay, many of them are included. So similarly, first we are going to understand the term called as financial institution. Okay, now it means your financial institution means that financial institution as defined by the RBI. So they have redirected us. If you want to understand the term financial institution, go and check the RBI Act. Okay, so generally we will understand the term called as financial institution. Any person who is engaged in providing finances. Okay, and includes, this is important because this has been given by the PMLA, and includes a chit fund company, a housing finance company which gives housing loans, etc. An authorized person. Authorized person means money changer. Example, in FEMA, you will study about authorized person, the person who exchanges currencies. Okay, a payment system operator, a NBFC, and Department of Post, because even we can open bank accounts, etc. in post office, and Department of Post in the government of India. All these, okay, all these. First of all, the financial institution as per which act? Financial institution as per the RBI Act. That will be included in this financial institution also. Plus some more entities have been specifically included in the term called as financial institution. Very clear with this? Okay, so specifically a bank is not included till now. Till now, we are taking all the non-banking entities, chit fund company, housing finance companies, money changers, etc. Right? And then we are going to go to a bigger term that is called as reporting entity. Now, means a banking company, financial institution which we just studied about, intermediary or a person carrying on some specific profession. A person carrying on specific profession, that person will be included in the term called as reporting entity. So we can understand it this way. Just the biggest term here is reporting entity. Okay, who all come under the term called as reporting entity? Banks will come. Okay, financial institutions will come. Intermediaries will be defined. Intermediary is going to come. Okay, or a person who is carrying on some designated business or profession, some specific business or profession. All these people will be included in the term called as reporting entity. Now, banks we understand, the person who has been constituted as a bank. Financial institution we already studied. Okay, who all will come under the term called as financial institution? First of all, financial institution as per the RBI Act. Okay, then a chit fund company. Then you will take the money changers, authorized persons, right? Then you will take a housing finance companies. Then you will take the Department of Posts, etc. These will come under the term called as financial institution. Then you will have some intermediaries, and then you will have some particular person who is carrying on a particular business or profession. All these people, okay, all these people cumulatively will be called as reporting entity. Okay, all these people cumulatively will be called as what? Will be called as reporting entity. Now, when we go further in the chapter, this reporting entity has been given a special place. Okay, this reporting entity has been given a specific designation. These people will have to follow some PMLA norms. Because they are dealing with finances, because they are dealing with money, or they are doing some high value transactions. So even they will come under the purview of PMLA. Okay, one very simple example. Initially, I had given you that example of depositing 5,000 rupees money in bank. Can I say we are using bank to convert our illegal money into legal money? So now bank is your reporting entity. Now banks will also be required to do certain reportings to the PMLA authority, so that even the authorities will come to know that whether banks, FI, intermediaries, etc. are used for converting the illegal money into legal money. So even these people, okay, even these people will come under the purview of PMLA, and all these people cumulatively will be called as what? These people will be cumulatively called as reporting entity. I hope I am very, very clear with this. So first we saw the definition of financial institution. Financial institution is a part of reporting entity. Very clear? Yes, so financial institution, we did it here. Reporting entity, we did it here. And one more person is coming here. Person carrying on designated business or profession who was also a part of reporting entity here. Person carrying on designated business or profession. Now, see the irony here. Person carrying on designated business or profession. See what's written. See what I have written. This section, this one, the definition does not form part of syllabus. Okay, we do not have this in our syllabus, in our ICI module. However, amendment has been put up by the ICI. There was some amendment in this particular section. They have just included the amendment. We do not have the basic definition. Okay, so, okay, whatever it is, as per the new modules we are doing, so whatever it is, let's try to understand. So, real estate agents, see, they are not your banks, they are not financial institution, but they do high value transaction. That's why even they will come under the purview of PMLA. Okay, so this designated person includes real estate agent whose annual turnover is 20 lakh or more. Means you have to do certain reportings under PMLA. Real estate agent having turnover of 20 lakhs or more. Plus, any person who is dealing in precious metal, stones, if they engage in any cash transaction specifically with a customer of more than or equal to rupees 10 lakh in a single transaction or in many transactions together which appear to be linked. Means if they are doing some transaction with their customers and the transaction is done in cash, the transaction value is more than or equal to rupees 10 lakhs. Then boss, cash transaction coming in into picture, chances of money laundering getting arise. So you are also, see, it's not that you are being punished for that. You can do the transaction, but you will come under the PMLA purview. Means certain provisions will be applicable to you. That we'll study. What provisions will be applicable to you, that we are going to study. Okay, and this designated person, the person who is carrying on designated business or profession, he is a part of reporting entity. So PMLA is going to be applicable to every reporting entity. Very clear with this? So two things we studied in this designated business or profession is, one is real estate agent whose annual turnover is more than or equal to rupees 20 lakh, or the person who is dealing in precious stones, metals, etc., and who has done some cash transaction with his customer, generally a single transaction done in cash of more than or equal to rupees 10 lakh, or if linked transaction which is relating to a single person only, linked transaction of more than or equal to rupees 10 lakhs in cash, then he will become he'll become a person who is carrying out designated business or profession, and that person will be a part of this report. I hope I'm very, very clear with this. Yes. And if he is a reporting entity, then the provisions of PMLA will be applicable. Okay, just try to understand, we have not done the entire definition of this person carrying on designated business or profession. We have just done the amendment because we do not have the entire definition in our syllabus. Yes. And the last one is a basic term called as beneficial owner. Okay, beneficiary was different. Remember, in payment system definition, we did a term called as payer and beneficiary. Here, beneficiary means the recipient. Okay, beneficial owner is totally different. I'll give you the example. Don't worry about it. Now, means an individual who ultimately owns or controls a client of reporting entity or the person on whose behalf a transaction is being conducted, and includes a person who exercises ultimate effective control over a juridical person. Okay, example. Our parents doing transaction on our behalf. Our parents, like till the time we were minor, a very simple and a very basic example. Okay, my dad doing transaction on behalf of minor Arpita. The details, account, etc. of Arpita will be used. Okay, but can I say my dad is exercising effective control over those transactions? So my dad will be treated as beneficial owner. Okay, my dad will be treated as what? My dad will be treated as beneficial. Means the person who is taking the ultimate decision. Just my name, my accounts will be used, but the person who is taking the ultimate decision, that person will be treated as beneficial owner. Okay, there is no harm in that. See, we are studying the definition does not mean that beneficial ownership is not allowed. No, it's not that way. It's not that way. They have just defined. Okay, wherever in the chapter you get the term called as beneficial owner, so you should remember, beneficial owner is the person who is ultimately having the control over that particular transaction. Very clear with this? Example. Say for example, Arpita forms a trust. Okay, I am forming a trust. This is the artificial juridical type of person. Okay, or this is an artificial person. I am the trustee of this particular trust. I am using the name of the trust. But can I say I am the beneficial owner? Right? I am the person who is exercising control over this particular trust. I become the beneficial owner. No problem in that. Very clear with this? Yes. So with this we are done. With this we are done with all our definitions. Okay, the most important definitions were, first of all, offense of money laundering. From there we got the term called as proceeds of crime. From there we got the term property and we got the term scheduled offense. These four definitions are super duper important. Okay, these four definitions are very, very important. And then we have got our other definition. Very clear with this? Yes. So till here we are completed. We are done with our definition.